Hello, welcome to our Bible study this week on Daniel chapter 12. Well, it's been good getting to know Daniel better, hasn't it? But now we're reaching the end of his book. Recently, I've been meeting with friends for Bible study on Zoom. I've made a little video like this, and then we've met together to discuss our questions and to share our insights. Daniel and the angels seem to be doing something similar here. One of the angels wants to know, when will this happen? I sympathise with that question. I always want to know when, but then I'm a little bit impatient. The answer is a time, times, and half a time. It's the same as the time given in the book of Revelation, where those numbers are used to describe a long period of time, followed by a short period of very troubled time, just like we've been learning about here in Daniel. Daniel heard what the angel said, but perhaps unsurprisingly he didn't understand, so he asked about it. We can ask God questions too. Daniel asked, what will be the outcome? What's the point? What will this achieve? How will it finally end? There seems to be a sense that near the end of time, people will have made their choice and will be set on the path they have chosen. There will be two groups described here as the good and the wicked. The good will grow more good, more like Jesus, but the wicked will become set in their ways, hearts turned away from God. The angel refers to the time of severe persecution that we looked at in our study last week. And what he says is basically, blessed are those who hang in there and are still standing afterwards, still trusting, still waiting for God. But it's not for now, Daniel. So, Daniel, you've been shown momentous events, but for now, carry on with your life as usual, serving God in a foreign country with integrity, faithfulness, love. You will rest until you receive your inheritance. So, Daniel will die, and he will rest from his personal troubles and battles. They will be over. He will be in heaven with Jesus. And at the end of the world, he and all who love God will rise, will receive new bodies, and live in the new earth where God lives with his people. So, how do Daniel's visions of the future impact the way we live? How can we respond to the Bible's realistic view of life here on earth? I'm thinking that Daniel himself is our example. Thinking back to the earlier chapters in his life, we see Daniel living in a foreign country with integrity. He relied on God, kept praying, and worked hard for the people around him. He was consistent and he stood firm in a crisis. God helped him and at times miraculously rescued him. Daniel himself lived in a time where the power of God's people had been broken. The kingdoms of Israel and Judah had been defeated. He had lost his home and his freedom and was separated from his family. All Daniel had to give him hope for the future was God's word, God's promises. But he had those promises and he believed those promises. He trusted God and lived strong. So can we. Thank you for listening.